No delay into this one, guys. At least as far as the loading screen goes. Sorry for the long delay before that, as it did take a little while for Hot Hands to beat their last opponents, but Hot Hands will be featured on this stream again, as they have been many of times in the last month, and I'm excited to watch them again. Of course, Nizcast will be joining me to give you guys insight into the game and draft and into these teams, but one team most of you guys who have been sticking around should of course know. That's Dardant and his minions, aka Locked Up, aka HUP HOLLAND HUP, as they will be taking on Hot Hand Hot Warmers. Winner of this does go on to the finals, and that'll be the end of the tournament for this Thursday edition. But we have 2 games to go before that point, so are you hyped, Niz? Are you ready? Are you pumped?
I am.
That was the most unhyped and unpumped I am.
It took a long time. It took a long, long wait. But we are here. We have reached the semifinals. And we have 2 teams that we've actually seen quite a bit of. Well, we saw Dardant and his minions play quite a bit this tournament. And in past tournaments, we've seen Hot Hands Hand Warmers play quite a bit. So, like you said, 2 teams that definitely people that have been watching for a while are going to be familiar with. Hot Hands is not playing with Monib. It looks like they have Panda's Dota in their lineup tonight. So I'm guessing what we've seen in the past is Drop actually rotates into the middle lane when Monib is out, but we'll see if they do that again this week. But nothing really out of the ordinary. Some teams really like this Viper first. Skywrath and Ogre. Oh boy.
Skywrath, not too surprising. Ogre, a little bit more so now. Ogre again. I will live and die by these words. I think Ogre is one of the best support heroes in the game. But
he's pretty good.
Is he first pick worthy? Honestly, a lot of that too. And I mean, we could probably again have a talk show for many hours, and many talk shows in general, and many hours of those mini talk shows about drafting theory, strategies, ideas, etc. But obviously they have a reason to pick the Ogre Magi second, right? Because they're foregoing picks like Tidehunter, picks like Doom. So there are a lot of options that are on the table, so they want something out of this Ogre Magi. What? We don't know yet. And neither does Hot Hands, and that's the advantage of Hot Hands, Dardant and his minions picking up the Ogre, right? Because now Hot Hands is like, well, you've left us tied, you've left us all this stuff, but, you know, Dardant may be completely aware of that, may be completely okay with that, and Hot Hands may be uncomfortable about it. And it's one way to look at it. Whether or not that's the way that it's going down, can't tell you, but it's something to think about.
We're actually seeing Hot Hands banning out some hero like PA. I don't think we've seen PA banned at all.
No, but PA is very strong.
Yeah, I think it was played in a couple other games that we didn't cast.
What hero do we think that is not strong?
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team.
Thought that would be the moment.
I got nothing.
Exactly. But I think that's really the point of Dota, right? Is there is no glaringly weak hero,
Pudge.
nor at this point. You really think so? Because I think in the right hands, Pudge is right in the pool with everyone else.
I think Pudge is one of the weakest heroes in Dota.
Alright, well, you heard it here first from Niz. Ban Dendi from Dota. No, just kidding. I'm basically Ice right now. I don't know if you read that Reddit post about Ice interview, but the Medusa is back again. Ryu Noob actually messaged me between games and said, like the Medusa. And of course, I replied that we enjoyed casting the Medusa most definitely, and
who did they pick second last game?
Not Ogre.
Yeah, I know they picked the Ogre real late. Fifth.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, yeah, I don't know what exactly it was, but now I'm thinking about their second pick last game. I don't entirely remember, to be fair.
Tied.
Yeah, so they had the tide. So why forego?
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, there's logic in it, but I'm not
5
in the
seconds
position to
remaining.
have enough information to find the logic.
Well, because they
Vengeful
couldn't get the Skywrath. This time they could get the Skywrath.
and so they go with the
Dire
roaming combo
team
of
pick.
Ogre. Yeah, maybe that's the logic.
I
But,
mean, the Ogre's important to buff the Medusa, I think.
They didn't have the Invoker last game either, so they're variating their strategy, or
This is weird.
varying.
I say
Go
this
to
is
RaptorZ
weird.
English.
Like the last game was normal.
I mean, no game of Dota should ever really be normal. And then that being said, like you're like, well, there's the meta, right? And people can pick the meta,
10
what everyone knows
seconds
works.
remaining.
True, but to be fair, that might be
5 seconds
abnormal
remaining.
for your team because you don't play those heroes well, right? So
Reserve
that's the
time.
hard part about drafting is it's kind of like being in space and saying this direction is down. Like you can't actually say that. There is no down, right? There is only directions. I don't know if that makes sense to you, Niz.
That didn't make any sense.
No sense at all.
I think I represent everyone watching this. That
I
didn't
mean,
make-
basically, okay. Then the TLDR is that yes,
there was
is a
no
meta.
down. There was only directions.
Yeah, in space there is no down because there's no
Radiant
gravity,
team
right? There's nothing. There's no
Yeah.
like you will get vertigo if you try to figure out a down while you were in space. God, they went over this in Ender game. Come on, Niz. Watch movies. No, I'm just kidding. Watch movies and
10
read physics.
seconds
Get with
remaining.
this, Niz. No. Anyways,
Technically,
technically.
5 seconds remaining.
this only applies when you're outside any kind of body of influence.
Okay, well, I was not specific enough for my point to land home. But my point is as weird as this is in a lot of ways for Dardant, it could be completely normal for them. And that's all that matters in their perspective. For us as the viewers and casters, it's a little different. Our perspective is never going to be grounded in the same foundation as theirs. But Hot Hands Warmers goes with the Vengeful Spirit and Wraith King. We didn't really talk about that, but two supports, I assume the Wraith King will be a support, that are very utility heavy. Wraith King, I look at his ult as a utility because dying strategically is very important in fights. I look at Vengeful Spirit as a utility hero because she's great at changing the breakdown of a fight. One of your heroes might be caught out, well, not anymore. One of their heroes might be in a good position, well, not anymore. And when you have heroes like Tide and Viper that offer a good basis for you to take fights off of, I wouldn't be surprised to see a hero like Morphling. A hero, well, Terrorblades banned out, but oh god, what was the other hero? Naga, I think fits really well with this lineup too. But how do you deal with the Medusa in your opinion? Is going into late game? Like if you were drafting, you're at the side of Hot Hands right now. You know, you're sitting here thinking, what is their last pick? But what are we gonna do? Are we gonna beat the Medusa early, late, mid? What's your thought?
Mid, I guess. Well, early. You want to smash early and snowball off that so that you dominate in the mid. So you're far enough ahead that the mid is easy. Because you're going to have some hard fights because Stonegaze is good.
Dire team pick.
I feel like their last lineup was much stronger.
Even so, does that statement take into account the current lineup of Hot Hands? Would you like them to have the same lineup as last game against Hot Hands lineup currently, or do you think the adaptation is understandable?
10 seconds remaining.
I always want Tide on my team, man.
5 seconds.
Ah,
5 seconds remaining.
Don't really need to ask Niz any more questions. We know what's going on.
Tide is so good.
Reserve time.
He is so good. He definitely is. But
Tide does work in those team fights, those important team fights, in that early mid game transition, which is where you need to stabilize for the Medusa. And I think Tide dominates those. Clock helps. He doesn't do it as well as Tide. Not as easily, at least.
yeah, I mean, if you are Bone 7, of course, Clockwork can win a game, literally by himself. You don't even need 4 other heroes. You could just have everyone else go take a lunch break during their game while Bone 7 played, but
Anti-mage.
oh, yes,
Radiant's
Dota Raptors
team
is
victory.
the happiest commentator of the night. Everyone hates this hero. I love this hero. I think Anti-Mage is one of the most entertaining heroes in the game. I know some people are actually going to hate me for that, but I don't mean it as like watching Anti-Mage is entertaining. What I see as an Anti-Mage is, I think Anti-Mage, well, playing him is very entertaining because it's all about efficiency of farming once you get your Battle Fury, and perfect farming before that, but more importantly, it's the efficiency of farming. But also, Anti-Mage plays a delicate balance in games, and it's always interesting to see how players deal with it. Do you play it like Black and Rice the entire game? Or do you play it like Sylar, or Burning and Sylar and Rice the entire game? Or do you play it like Burning? And do you participate after your Manta style, or during your Manta style build-up? But we'll see what Hot Hands chooses to do with their Anti-Mage as we get into this game. 5 Dardant and his minions are going to be on the side of the Radiant, as we have Ryanoob once again picking up the Medusa. We have Corey once again picking up the Ogre Magi. We have Static, who took the place of I can't remember on the Skywrath Mage. We have EGA taking up the mid lane as the Invoker, and finally that leaves Tyken as the bottom lane Clockwork solo.
Alright, on the Dire side, we have Hot Hands Hand Warmers. Playing the Tidehunter is Berguber. Playing the Viper is Drop. Playing the Vengeful Spirit is Melisam. Playing the Wraith King is the stand-in Panda's Dota. And playing the Anti-Mage is Cheech.
That's actually a pretty cool Wraith King set. I dig.
It's alright, I was taking a look at it.
Yeah, I like that. I like the headpiece. It's kind of legit. Oh, Pandas don't. Oh, you know, cosmetics don't really help you in Dota, as he's going to get slowed up by that Ignite. I don't think, though, because he went Mystic, or sorry, Arcane Bolt, that he's going to be able to nab up that kill. Who did they give the rune to? It looks like they were actually fighting over it, but Skywrath Mage gets to it first, so he'll get that, which is...
I think it should be Ogre, to be honest.
Okay, well, that's Niz's 2 cents on that, but Niz, I want to get your 2 cents. What do you think
His
about
boots.
Anti-Mage?
His boots are more important, right? Same
Yeah.
thing that we talked about before with Shadow Demon?
That's true. Very simple logic, very true. But yeah, your thoughts on Anti-Mage? Because
Resident Sleeper.
Huh?
Resident Sleeper.
So worse than Resident Evil. Well, yeah, actually, Resident Evil is like one of the best
The
games.
Twitch
Resident Evil
emote,
2.
dude. Come on.
Oh no, I don't know it. I don't.
It's the fucking sleeping face.
I don't know any of them except for the Kappa, dude. I'm all about the Kappa. Everything else is a fake.
There you go. I dropped it in chat for you.
Oh, okay. Well, Resident Sleeper is Anti-Mage, but yeah, like.
Well, no. Okay.
So what do you think
Things
about this
can
hero?
happen.
What do you think
I
about this
think-
hero?
I think it's a good hero. I don't think it's as boring as it typically is played. I think it can do more things. I think in this game it's going to be a snooze fest. But that will remain to be seen, as we do have an aggro tri lane with the Medusa again. So that's interesting.
Yeah, and he
But
went.
it's up against an AM. So.
I like that he went the only Tangos and Stout Shield build with like leaving a lot of gold. Because right now, what he can choose to do is send out consumables if he needs them, or he can get the Ring of Health early if it's available. And so I really like that decision.
I think that's what you go for, the Ring of Health, too.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, again though, like if it goes really bad, I didn't buy out, so I have the money to, you know, buy consumables later if needed, instead of going straight for that Ring of Health. And actually, he gets quite a bit out of this pull. He's going to be getting to his Ring of Health relatively soon. Of course, Anti-Mage is one of those heroes that it's all about certain thresholds and timings. If he can get his Battle Fury before 14 minutes, his farm is going to be way faster than a 16-minute Battle Fury. Same thing for 13, 12, 10, or 11, and if you can manage it, 10. Very rare, though. Not going to happen at all in this game. He'll be lucky for a 14 to 16. But then becomes the next question is, you know, how does he play as Anti-Mage? Does he split push with the illusions, with Manta style? Does he come to fights as soon as he gets to Manta style? How well does he move throughout the jungle? And then on the flip side, I think the big question, again, like you said last game, this Medusa, right? How does the Medusa do? Does she get farm across the map like last game? Does she keep up with the Anti-Mage? And, you know, I guess in a lot of ways too, does she does she position herself well in fights? Because if her Lincoln's is popped and she's missing that 2,000 mana that she had last game, she is literally a walking rampage for Cheech. I mean, Void
Yeah.
got buffed in a huge way. Mana Void.
The problem is I think Hot Hands right now, they're going to be losing 2 lanes. Like, they're going to be losing this tri lane. So Deuce is going to get a good start, and the supports are going to be looking okay. But Hot Hands is going to be kind of lacking behind. There's not really a lot of room for rotations, as Panda's Dota is trying to catch out a ward, doesn't find it. But they're gonna win mid.
Oh, middle lane. Cheech
excellent
gets silenced
Cheech.
up, and he's gone on, and he's actually going to be first blood static. Able to secure that, and this is the one huge weakness of the anti-mage, and something you talked about last game. Medusa is one of those awesome yet unique hyper carries that can actually be used somewhat offensively, and we've seen it 2 games in a row. Ryanoob with this offensive Medusa, they're getting a lot done.
Yeah, she can actually play relatively forward, even though it's early on. Mana Shield's still really good, and she can actually still do a lot of damage with Mystic Snake. But I mean, when you're going up against an anti-mage can't really do anything, and especially when he's really frail, and you've got the silence, you've got the stun, you've got the nuke.
I like this switch up though. They are going to dive into top though. Looks like his Panda's Dota under the tower is really low. Actually, Static might go down first. No, never mind. As Pandas does die first, but they do get the return kills. So Melisande now level 4.
Advantage Hot Hands there, I think.
Yeah, because of Melisandre's single kill. The drop, chasing down EGA. One more right click will secure this. He does need the vision to be able to get it, and honestly, with Corey TPing, the Sunstrike is there. Slightly off the mark though. Not going to be able to nab that drop. Gets slowed up now by the concussive shot. Silence is there. And it looks like with that arcane bolt, and it is static enough to clean up that kill, as he is the one to nab it 3-1 in favor of Dardant and his minions, as Hot Hands is a little bit on the back foot. But I like this rotation of Cheech to get him farm. Pandas and Melisande. That's another thing you talked about in a previous game, where there was 2 support heroes where both of them play great 4s. I feel like it's the same situation. Hook though on to Tide, as he's level 3, and they are going to be able to get the Sunstrike, dealing quite a bit of damage. Briggy just, well, he accepts his fate, and he dies.
Yeah, that's
with dignity.
I mean,
Clockwork,
they made a rotation to go to the bottom lane because Clock is just going to smash Tidehunter in the lane. So, you know, they made the rotation down here, maybe put a little bit of pressure on Clock, and Clock just ends up getting a kill anyways.
Alright, and
So-
Tide didn't have Ravage because of the fact that Anti-Mage rotated down, but he does buy his boots out of this. He's getting something, and he's starting to slowly catch up, but Ryanoob is just getting leaps and bounds ahead, relatively speaking. And Niz, I'd also like to point out the fact that I think that drop dying in that mid lane has definitely given a big favor to EGA in this middle lane right now. And yeah, it
Let's
kind
give
of,
him space, right?
right, exactly, and that's all you need, because once you get that Midas online, Ryanoob converging with his mid EGA, as he does pick up that bounty rune, gets the cold snap, dealing quite a bit of damage. But Bergiuber is here to back up Pandas. Will Pandas be able to get out? It looks like the answer is no. And now Bergiuber is in big trouble. There's the Sunstrike. It's going to miss, or actually disperse between multiple targets. And this is a great turnaround, as EGA is probably going to die to the dot. He does, and now they also clean up Static off the back of that, and drop with Bergiuber and Melisande are able to turn that around, get 2 kills, and make the game a lot more even than it was before. A 14,000 gold experience shift to them, as well as an 857 gold shift to them.
That was actually huge for them, especially when they didn't have Ravage. Like, I don't know where Bergiubers would have gotten 6 without that. He was almost a full level away from 6, and he can't go bottom. Clock will just kill him. So he had nowhere to basically get XP. And now he's just sitting in the jungle, and this is going to close out the last 9 mana, or 9 XP he needed there. And he's 6 now,
important.
so Ravage online.
Cheech also still getting some farm, not a lot, but some. Ryanoob getting a lot. Oh wow, I just ran right over him. He was a giant range creep. But yeah, middle lane, it's big fight. Drop gonna get Sunstriked as well as the bolt. There, it's there. It's gonna be enough to clean him up. Can they get EGA as a return kill? I don't think so. In fact, I think Pandas is in big trouble. He's gonna get focused down, cleaned up. That's 2 for nothing, and now the TP from Bergiuber. Of course, he has that Ravage, but oh no!
Oh boy!
Oh no, Bergiuber! is in big trouble after a whiffed Ravage, and now
Melisand's gonna
EGA,
get turned on.
Melisam, EGA. Oh no, it's actually EGA who gets the. Well, he gets
Striking
out of this.
5.
And looks like Corey's going to try to get Melisam. Melisam going for the Jukes. Pandas is back here, gets the stun. We're looking for the Sunstrike. Is it going to happen?
Dire's bottom
Is it going to happen?
is under attack.
Yep.
Yes!
He's got it.
EGA. And uh-oh, I think Hot Hands
I mean,
is
he had,
starting.
he had ward vision, but it was still impressive.
But I don't know if you saw what, or agree or see what I saw and is there, but I feel like Hot Hands is getting a little, not boiled, but their team's starting to get a little, you know, discombobulated. They're not connected. They're not thinking together. The Ravage was behind. You know, they're just things are not connecting right now. And drop Bergie Uber, Pandas trying to push this T1, doing some damage, but they're gonna need to back off. They cannot maintain
Dire's
this
top
position.
tower is under attack.
I don't think it was that bad. The Ravage was
Dire's
close.
structures are fortified.
It just
I mean-
felt so far off, I guess, for me. It was just like, oh no, Bergie Uber. Like, I almost
he did
felt,
get the Skywrath.
Okay, I missed that. Cheech should survive here, as of course there is no mana for the hook. Now there is the stun is there from Melisam. Maybe they want to try to turn on this, but again, Clockwork has hook, so they got to be very careful about this. He is using the bottle charges. Cheech does not have access to Mana Void. He's 8 experience away, and Tykin
Melisam.
might want to turn on this. Yeah, Melisam could be in big trouble. The hook gets there. It hits on Melisam.
No.
The question is, can Cheech get level 6 before it happens? And he does. He does have access to Mana Void. I don't know why he hasn't tried to turn on this Sunstrike. AGA on the mark, but not enough to get the kill.
We got Flare, mana and 2.
Where does he throw it, though?
No, I don't even think he tries.
Well, meanwhile, top lane completely missed this Ryan noob, and the Skywrath Mage going to be able to work together to clean up the Wraith King. Looks like they did, yeah, they did use Mystic Flare.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And Clockwork picks up a DD rune in the bottom lane. Doesn't have hook for 29 seconds, though, and he did pop the DD, so the duration is going to be the same as the cooldown on hook. He's really not going to be able to get anything with this DD to... At least I don't expect him to, but, you know, you never know. He is wrapping around. Battery assault. Oh, tower fires off a shot, and if it wasn't obvious before, it's obvious now. I mean, the ward saw it. It was pretty obvious all along, but it's definitely obvious now.
I mean,
Cheech.
what other carries can get away with this?
Cheech.
Jesus.
Cheech. Please. He gets
Oh, I
away.
didn't see that.
Does he get hooked, though? It's off cooldown, and it hits. One right click. Tykin. Ownage sounded. This is not looking good for Hot Hands, as we're looking to have a short semifinals. As Drop in the middle lane is also in trouble, but you know what? EGA is the one who's in real trouble, as there is the silence. Now the Mystic Flare. Does it pop the Kraken Shell? It does, and the Ravage hits on 3. EGA down. Corey trying to chase down, but with what mana? For what purpose? The answer is none. They do get a turnaround on a kill on AGA, but it was expended for Ravage, and I don't know how I feel about this game right now. Hot Hand's not looking good.
No, not at all. I mean, the problem is Cheech can't get farm. Like, we're 11 and a half minutes in, and he has a Ring of Hell to his name. I mean, you could say that he's basically got the Perseverance finished, but still, he's nowhere near his Battle Fury.
No.
And that's just to get him so he can start farming, right? Like, that isn't even like,
Right,
oh,
and that's
okay, he's got a core, and you can...
I think
He can
that's the
start
main
fighting.
reason Anti-Mage fell out of popularity, right? Because he cannot work without that Battle Fury. Yeah, you can
Well,
go
action
Vanguard,
top.
but it's so
Ryan
old,
doesn't
and
get the
Ryan,
ult, though.
yeah, they need this kill. And with 4 heroes together, they're able to nab it, and I think that might have been the most important kill of the game right now. That sorry, let me rephrase that. That will be the most important kill of the game if they can continue to chain the kills on Medusa, because that'll mark the beginning of Anti-Mage catching up relative to the Medusa. As it stands, Anti-Mage is 2k behind the hero he needs to be even with. So they need to keep her down so Anti-Mage has a chance to catch up.
Medusa's so far ahead, though. 2,100 gold
Structures are fortified.
is basically the difference between the two right now.
Yeah, no, it's not good. It's not good. Panda's in the middle lane, still taking a ton of damage from those Forge Spirits, of course. Wraith King is a strength hero, but a low base armor hero. Holitaire is thrown out, dealing some damage and getting that minus armor, but this tower should fall 63 HP. They actually leave it to Nibel. Drop. Didn't see him run through the river. Are able going to be able to focus. I can't speak. Corey might die from drop, is what I was trying to say, but he gets out alive at 170 HP. The Mystic Snake goes through, dealing quite a bit of damage. Pandas still has enough mana for his ultimate, but he gets oh no, never mind. He's in the cogs, so he does revive, but that Mystic Flare dealing a ton of damage. They do expend the hook to secure that kill. Concussive Shot flies out, EGA on the chase, but EGA just wants to get the last one on this tower drop, denies it. So great play by them, but it was at the expense of the Wraith King and a denied tower. Again, it's, you know, oh, you know, he stabbed me, but I was able to put a band-aid on the wound afterwards. Well, he still stabbed you. It sucks.
Dire's middle tower is under
Can't really
attack.
ignore that. And Hot Hands, I feel like they're starting to feel a little bit of pressure, and they should be, because, I mean, now the clockwork, 5,800 gold.
He's, well, 5,800 net worth.
Net worth, net worth.
Yeah, he's already got his 4 staff, and he's
Well,
sitting.
that is gold,
this-
Niz. Oh.
Yes, he just bought his point booster, so he is going for Egg Scepter.
Do you like that? Because that's an interesting topic of discussion. You know, versus
Yeah.
Blade Mail.
Yes.
Okay, do you think it's
That's-
worth it before Blade Mail?
I don't think he needs Blade Mail right now. I think right now it's more important for him just to be able to constantly put pressure on the map using his eggs,
So
especially so he always has his ult up for Cheech.
you're telling me your response is the cliche situational.
Boom, there it goes.
No, I think it's definitely the right pick.
No, well, I mean, but you know, when you're going Blade Mail before Ags, in other situations it
He
could
just
be
hook shot an
useful.
illusion there.
Well, I mean, he's gonna have Ags soon. But no, that also goes to your point earlier today in the cast when you were talking about, you know, illusion runes are one of the best runes in the game that's underrated, as I was underrating it, and you know, part of the reason is baiting out abilities. And he doesn't have Ags, so Hook is off cooldown for 50 seconds. Will it have an impact right now? Most likely not, but just kind of a something to point out there. He's
Well-
also getting good vision with both of them combined.
I mean, he was really just running with the illusion bottom rune to destroy it. But
Dire's bottom tower
if
is
you
under attack.
basically handle your illusion and treat it like a hero, especially when you're playing like a support or
Ooh, what a
something like
blink.
that, a
But the
squishy
cancel
hero,
TP, this is not good. Bergie Burr is really
Can bait a lot.
far out alone, and yeah, you really can Niz, but oh wow. I don't know if you were watching that with me, but I really felt inklings of Bergie Burr's death in the future, but he gets away, and now Static. Static. He's dead. 100%. Tons of minus armor. Now drop going on to Ryanu. The TP is there. Are they going to expend the mana void? They do. That cancels the TP. He pops that ultimate, aka the Medusa's Gaze or Stone Gaze, and that's going to allow her to escape. They get the bottom tower because of the use of that Stone Gaze, and a decent trade for the Radiant. However, the Dire does get something off the back of it, a support kill, but not a super high impact kill, but something they need.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures
Alright.
are fortified.
They didn't get the kill on Dusa, and that sucks. That really, really sucks for them. But Stone Gaze, I mean, it's kind of silly how good Stone Gaze is.
Man, and with the reworks, it used to be like Song with the cooldown too, but they reworked it to a base 90. So, you know, level 1 Medusa ult's actually very useful and very short cooldown comparatively to a lot of ultimates.
Yeah.
Of course, it does go to 0 mana. Oh yeah, they changed that too. And it doesn't go to 0 mana cost anymore. It used to go to 0 mana cost back in the 6.70 or 6.7x days.
It doesn't matter when that hero gets to like 1,500 to 2,000 mana, anyways.
Mhm. It's true, because Mystic Snake also gets you mana back.
Yeah.
Yep. Very good hero. Lots of synergy within that hero's abilities. And glad to see her in Captain's mode and doing well, Niz. And she is definitely looking to be not the star of this game, but the defining characteristic of this game. Her net worth relative to Anti-Mage is really telling the story. But hey, you know what? She
It's catching up.
yeah, deserves lots of attention for that. I mean, that's 2,000 gold in the last few minutes of us talking, and he really hasn't had the space to get it, but he found it, got it, and he's now 300 gold away from a Battle Fury that's within understandable times for a late Battle Fury. Again,
Yeah,
emphasis
so-
late.
The gap now is 1,700 gold, so he's caught up 400 gold in the past little while. and that's pre-Battle Fury, so you can expect his farm to speed up quite a bit.
Quite quicker than Medusa's, actually. Medusa farms really slow relative to an anti-mage with Battle Fury. And that's the beauty of anti-mage, right? Like, if I asked you, is there any hero that can flash farm faster than anti-mage? Do you think there's any?
No.
With Battle Fury?
No way.
No? You don't even think SF?
No.
Fair
SF
enough.
can farm fast, but
You can't flash farm as fast as a BF
you
anti-mage.
can't move around as fast as an anti-mage, and that's the key.
Definitely. Well, static invis. Scouting out a lot of this movement from the Dire side. They don't have any sentries down. They do have some in the inventory, though. So static needs to be careful because a casual sentry could lead to his death. There's this ward. There's the sentry. Melisam. Oh, there's the ping. They know he's there. But I think he knows about that
Dire's bottom
sentry
tower
ward
is
as he was
under attack.
probably clicking on the inventories before that happened. You know, speaking of which, while we have a second, you know what I'd love to see them add? And it's kind of a copy feature from StarCraft, but they could always add their own flair to it. Color wheels around the bottom of heroes to see who's selected a hero, or you know what they're selecting. I don't know if you think that'd be too much in the UI, but it could be pretty cool.
I guess. I don't know.
Liz is undecided about that
Dire's
feature.
bottom tower is under
Cheech,
attack.
Battle Fury though, man. Battle Fury. So let's see what happens. Tyken wants to stall that farm up quickly, and he actually just ran into the Rocket Flare vision. He's using the creep wave to help escape him. The question becomes, does his blink dodge the hook? Hook? Oh, off the mark.
Come on, he knew where he saw him blink.
I mean, it's hard to
He's-
tell sometimes, though, because your mind plays games on you, because what good heroes, or sorry, no, there's no action, but what a good player will do, not only anti-mages, but any hero with a blink dagger, at least this is what I try to do, is you always run a different direction than you're going to blink right before you blink. So it's not as intuitive as, you know, you're making it think. Now, that again, you're right. He saw the direction of the animation, but, you know, didn't happen, so no kill. No Roche either, apparently. Roche
Oh,
too
I
strong.
thought it got flared out immediately.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. Sorry, I was like, it's bright in there. It's because they have vision. No, that's because they have a flare. Dota Raptors. Good morning, Dota Raptors. We haven't been casting that long either. Only 5.5 hours.
Well, we still got a finals to go after this.
Most definitely. And for as much as I thought this game was over, Hot Hands is turning it around in a lot of ways, but it's not turned around yet. It is not a comeback. They are still behind. They are disadvantaged, and they are at threat of losing their anti-mage, and this is going to be a big deal if they can get him. The Cold Snap is stunning him up. Can they stop his blink? And they do. Cold Snap. Very strong spell. You think, you know, of course you can try to blink out of it. You might get out of it, but 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get out of a blink or out of a Cold Snap, because high levels in Quas makes that tick a lot, and Burger Uber caught out in the trees from that hook. Great flare from Tyken, and that means Burger Uber is going to fall, and now Panda's Dota is in trouble. So he does get slowed up by that ignite, but what I thought
That's
was being...
Zags too.
I think this might snowball into 2 T2s or Roche and a T2, if not even more than that.
Roche. They go Roche.
They go Roche. They do go Roche. But this isn't good for the side of Hot Hands, Niz. You know, for as much as I was saying things are turning around a little bit over the time of the game, that, you know, things have kind of stalled out, that set of plays right there definitely flopped it on its head.
Oh, for sure. And that was just because Tyken said, you know what? There could be someone lying in wait here. Throws out the flare, spots out Briggy, or hooks
Yeah,
him.
because that Ravage could have been huge with his positioning. Definitely could have been absolutely huge. Well, Roche going to go uncontested, and
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
yeah, middle tower goes down. Anti-Mage has got his treads, has got his Battle Fury, and if this was a pub, I'd give Anti-Mage a decent chance to win the game, because Anti-Mage can rat harder than any hero you have seen when given the chance. But this is a competitive amateur match, and the side of the Radiant should be able to handle what Cheech wants to do. Especially with that Aegis, they're going to have a lot of room to bully. They might sacrifice these outer towers to be able to get the T2s, or they might just defend them, and looks like that's what they're going to do, and just push in the top lane and completely negate the potential of Anti-Mage's split push with that Battle Fury.
Yeah, but so the net worth differential between Medusa and AM actually got to about almost right at 2K, right at 19 minutes when Cheech finished the Battle Fury. However, now it's at basically, keeps fluctuating so much, but it's
yeah, it's
basically
about
2,500.
3.5. Oh no, yeah, you're right. No, yeah, 2.5. You're right. I added an extra 1,000 for Medusa. You're welcome, Ryan Noob.
Despite the Battle Fury, Medusa is actually gaining more, and part of that is the fact that Cheech died.
And they
during
got
that
a ton
timing.
of kills. And, she
And they
extra
got
gold.
one
The
tower,
One tower.
one
Roche.
tower, and then Roche, yeah.
So yeah, Cheech is farming faster than Medusa, but Medusa with the kills and the fights that she's winning is changing that. So it's definitely up to the Medusa and the side of 5 Dart Ant knowing this. Like I almost feel like, I mean, maybe you would play it differently, but put yourself in the position of the Radiant. Would you be playing this as a kill timer? Like, we need to win this game before Anti-Mage is able to farm with the Battle Fury for X amount of time? Or would you be saying, we have Medusa, we can handle the Anti-Mage, we're going to take our time, and if he gets some farm along the way, he gets some farm.
Well, these guys have a lot more experience running Dusa in this capacity than I do, but I think you always have to play to your team's strengths, and you also have to. Oh, we're gonna have a big
Yeah, Bergy-Uber. Oh no, it looks like Ryan Noob gonna get gone on. He thinks it's a perfectly good start of a fight, but the Ravage is gonna stall things up, and now Cheech comes in from the back, gonna try to do some damage. Mystic Flare off the mark, not doing a lot. Meanwhile, on the north side of the fight, Hot Hands is losing a lot. Pandas is down, and so is Drop. Pandas is gonna revive, however, so he's gonna be able to turn into this fight. Drop is going to buy back as they are able to clean up the Skywrath Mage off the back of it. The swap to bring EGA back into the fight. Drop's going to be able to focus him down. The blink forward from Tidehunter going to be able to get that Anchor Smash, dealing quite a bit of damage. Cheech able to blink over the trees and get away. But the chase continues a little bit. Jumpy on the trigger finger is Tyken, missing that hook, but 7 seconds till the next one, and all they lost was a Skywrath Mage. They didn't even lose the Aegis. So I wouldn't be surprised to see 5 Dart Ant continue and even potentially try to poke at a tier 3 here, because they still have a lot of resources available to them, especially with that Ags cooldown on the hook.
What's important to note is that Cheech actually got the kill there on the Skywrath, so he was able to hop into the back there and get the Void, Mana Void off.
Well, they're going to force that forward onto, or Drop's going to force that forward. Get forced that forward. Sorry, that was a great play by the Clockwork, and then cogs him in. And now Cheech is in trouble. Looks like Tyken might take too much damage. It does get Force Staff out by a teammate as he used his to kill Viper with that amazing play, and they're going to lose a tier 3 from this. The question is, do they lose the racks with the stun goes out onto Tyken? They want to kill him. Pandas throws the second stun. They do get him, but Melisandre is going to sacrifice his life for this, and now the slow onto Bergy-Uber might be his life, as Melisandre does say he got him. But I think that that's going to be the beginning of the GG here, is if they're calling all chat jokes about running off and sacrificing themselves to get kills, they're pretty not happy, but they're understanding, or at least aware of the situation, that this game is in one hell of a bad spot for them.
Well, I think that was a reasonable trade, trading the Venge for the clock. That was definitely a reasonable trade, but I mean, you lost your racks on the back of it.
And you're losing a bottom T3. Like, you know, while you're talking about this, and, you know, not to say that it's not important or, you know, whatever, but this is just casually happening.
Well,
and
Hot Hands, and
what can they do about it?
Yes, they have the late game Medusa, but going up against the late game Anti-Mage, but you've got quite a lead right now.
Why not end it
Why not
now?
take advantage of it?
Yeah, Medusa can do it better than Anti-Mage, and there goes 2 sets of racks, and I don't think this game's going to go much longer, as Noob is next to T4s, not caring. Bergy-Uber gets a great Ravage on 3 heroes, but 2 heroes on the Dire side, or Radiant side, cleaned up off the back of it, never mind, and the Aegis. Maybe they could keep this game, maybe they could keep their hopes alive as they're hunting down EGA. The hook is there as EGA 4 staffs away, and now he's actually just going to get focused up, as of course they have vision from that Sentry Ward, but he's able to get out of the Sentry vision. And Ryu, yeah, with that slow, able to help get that kill. And now Ryu Noob, or allowed to, yeah, try to get him out, but he does die anyways. Ryu Noob does die as well. And that is a cleanup with Cheech getting the double kill. And, you know, if there is a hero that you kind of have to be careful about doing this, it definitely would be Anti-Mage. And again, it's just because Anti-Mage, yeah, Medusa can split push really well and can handle mega creeps, but I don't know. I'm an Anti-Mage lover. I'm biased. I'm going to shut up. Niz, what do you think
Did you
about
just
this?
hit the fight recap? Hit the fight recap.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
6.82.
But I mean, now this is not necessarily a full-blown comeback, but what this does give them is a chance. And this is what I love about 6.82, and I've had discussions about other people with this, but I don't think it's the patch of the comeback team being better than the team that's ahead. I think it's the patch of when you have the skill to execute or out-execute the enemy team or out-strategize the enemy team when you're behind, you can still win. So the team that's able to get ahead and stay ahead without mis-executing or being out-strategized is the team that should win. And if Hot Hands can continue those kind of plays, they can easily come back in this game. I mean, Anti-Mage just spiked in net worth in a big way. Like, in a huge way. Oh, and he's going to even find
A lot
Cheech.
of racks, though.
He does get away. Or, sorry, Static. He does get away, though.
They're down their mid racks and the bottom melee racks. That's going to be very, very difficult. That's a lot of... Like, yes, there's a whole bunch of pressure created by those creeps, but... Creeps, when you've lost your racks, the enemy creeps pushing give less gold and experience.
That is true.
So, I mean, there's less gold on the map for you to farm, essentially.
And already the bottom lane pushing in. They are going to lose the range racks, and there's a TP from Viper, but Viper's going to TP to a dead rack, so the range racks is down as well. That does add to the pressure. It's not as significant of an addition as the melee racks, but it is still a addition worth noting. But 5 heroes grouped together for the Radiant, and Niz, if this game was going to end, it's going to end now. Otherwise, it's going to go a very, very long time. As Anti-Mage can come back from a lot of situations. The Radiant side wants to group up, push down top, and pull this game to a close. Do you think they have what it takes?
This is a tough game to win. This is a very tough game.
So do you try to win it right now, or do you just sit on your 2 racks advantage for like 10, 20 minutes?
Oh,
And
sorry,
wait
I thought
till
you were
mistake?
referring to Hot Hands.
No, other way around.
Well, you just keep going.
Just keep going. Alright, alright. Well, that's their plan. That's what they're going to do.
Let's go top.
agrees.
End the game.
Radiant's bottom
Smoke
tower
up from Hot Hands as Cheech does get that bottom tower, and again, this is what Anti-Mage does. He's been left alone for the last 3 minutes. He's gotten a tower and he's gotten a decent amount of farm. He doesn't have a TP though for 20 seconds. He has a Manta style too, so TP though forced out of Clockwork, and that's actually a pretty big deal in my opinion. I don't think it's gonna, yeah. Now they can't push top. And this is what they're just hoping to do, is stall this out for a long enough period of time, and Anti-Mage is actually going to go for the kill on Clockwork, and I like this decision because Clockwork might try to turn on this, and if he does, it would be a big mistake. He might even force even more TP. He's going to hook onto this. Does he Manta? I think he's just waiting for the cogs, because once the cogs happens, could go for the Void as he has level 2. Yeah, he should have gone for the Void. He really should have gone for the Void there, but he will TP away. EGA, no, gets the Blink Stun, standing on this side of the hill. The Manta Style absorbs some of that, but honestly, I think this is going to be a kill. No! Cheech! Great plays! Able to clean that up. Blink away. Does he get away from the rest of this, though? He's on the run. Heroes in the air. No, they're not. They're doing Roche. Well, Cheech. What a man.
You're just like, what the hell are you clowns doing? Give me that gold.
You guys think you already won this game. You've been playing against an Anti-Mage. You best be remembering I exist, otherwise this game is going to go on a long time and you're not going to win it. Because I'm going to split push you to death, and you may have a Medusa, but your Medusa can't be as many places as I can. The Blink Anti-Mage, or the cooldown on Blink on Anti-Mage is absolutely insane. I just want to say that really quick. 5 freaking seconds. 5. 5. That's all. This public service announcement has been brought to you by Nizcast. You're like, don't put me on that. I didn't ask to be a part of this. But 3,000 gold sitting on Anti-Mage. We'll see what he goes next. Of course, the Roche did go to Medusa, and she's starting to get big, but again, it's a double-edged sword. Whereas Medusa has a large mana pool and a lot of extra life, she's also a giant rampage waiting to happen. If Anti-Mage and the Radiant side line up the damage. Ooh,
What the hell
farm.
just happened?
Ooh, look at
Oh,
that
she's
farm.
farming the stack.
Look at
Okay.
that farm. Yum, 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 yum. Don't you just love in games when you get to be this person? Like, does it just feel great? It just feels great. Just feels great.
So, yes, Deuce just finished a stack, but Deuce has 300 net worth ahead of Cheech.
I want to say I told you so I'm going to say it. Told you so. But yeah, Cheech has been playing an absolutely excellent anti-mage. 250 last hits, 33 last hits. Considering his start, generally speaking, we don't see the 200 mark until about 28, 30 minutes, but he has been able to surpass that, and he is at a point where he is... Well, when you're behind.
Good farm for a hyper farmer is close to 300 at 30.
Well, I guess my bad. I forgot to add the condition. Considering his start, we usually see you breaching 200 late, closer to 30 minutes, but he breached it and passed it pre 30 minutes, which is very important considering their situation. And they want to fight this BKB on AM.
They're flanking from the side too.
This is the fight. This is the game, right? And it gets stunned up. The Ravage, huge, hits on multiple. Can't even catch it on the screen as we have the hook and the bottom side going on drop. Is going to turn around and start fighting Riot Noob as well, just dishing out damage with that split shot as Cheech chasing down the two incasters in the background, but Corey and Clockwork are going to fall. And you know what, Niz? You know what? I think we're watching Hot Hands hand warmers take what was possibly a 100% lost game and bring it around. Cheech is going to just look away during this stone gaze. It's going to end now, and he's just going to turn right back onto her. And of course, he still has that mana void. And there it goes, the kill and a complete team wipe, triple kill, monster kill. Niz, I believe they can do it.
Maybe. They lost to tier 4 there. Unfortunately, a lot of this was actually...
I like how you're just so not like that. You're just
mean-
like, I mean, maybe they lost. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Unfortunately, like, a lot of this is just 6.82. It really is. Like, I still think this comeback mechanic is rather crazy.
Do you think it's too extreme? I mean, I hate to put your opinion on the stream on the spot, but
I mean, you should be awarded for winning a team fight when you're behind, but we've seen 2 team fights now with 6k gold swings.
now
I mean, there is an argument to be made that there's no way that Hot Hand should have thrown that first fight in the base,
Radiant's top tower is under
well,
attack.
can I?
and they just got careless, and they essentially
Structures are fortified.
brought Hot Hands. They brought Hot Hands back in the game. by
Let me
losing
ask
that
this
fight.
another way then. Do you think Dardan and his minions screwed up that top fight right there? Do you think they were...
That top fight? No. I think...
Well, it looked like they didn't take into account the possibility of a wraparound.
It was just good execution. Yeah, they were caught off guard by that rotation. They thought they were fine because of this ward, but smoke.
And, you know, I guess, is it too picky of commentators to say that's a mistake? Or, you know, do you think that's something that's more... like if this was a professional game, I'd be saying that's probably a mistake.
Well,
Because
here's the thing.
you should know
Typically,
that.
when you're posting up to press the top there, you should have a support down here anyways,
to blow any smokes like that.
to blow the potential of any kind of smoke moving through this area. And that's kind of the rotation they made. But so you could say maybe they were a little out of position there, but that rotation easily could have came through here anyways.
Oh, rocket flare not used to check the trees. If it would have, they would have found Cheech, but I don't think they can kill Cheech. They don't have any BKB disables. They really don't. And Cheech is just gonna backdoor this, or not backdoor this, but rat this. And God, this is why I love anti-mage. The tears of nerds that I have stolen by playing anti-mage and just doing this in pubs. Oh, I love it. But it's really helping his team right now with stalling up the Radiant. Sorry, what'd you say, Nis?
But I don't like you.
I also love Prophet. If you go to my Dota buff, Chen and Prophet are my most played heroes.
Dude, everyone's most played is Prophet because they get fed up and they just decide to win Dota games.
Amen.
Because that's like the easiest hero to win pubs with.
No, definitely agreed there. But you can't say that.
Boring
Chen.
as hell to play every game, but
Yeah, well, Niz, this game might be decided on this push. Like I said
Oh,
last time,
fine,
right?
whoa.
Running up, gonna be popping the ult. It's doing quite a bit, slowing quite a few. Cheech getting slow, or sorry, Drop getting low. Panda's getting low. Will pop the ult now. Slow the blink. Ravage from Uber, Ryanu, already really low mana. The Mana Void not going to happen though from Cheech as they do get the Mystic Flare off, killing, actually really not killing anyone as Anti-Mage is able to clean up the Medusa. And yeah, they've lost another T4, but they've defended, and their T3, or no, they didn't lose another T4. They lost a T3, but they defended their racks, and now they're on the pursuit. Maybe they can catch out more. I don't think they can, but they can definitely try. As maybe no, there's no swap. This is an interesting game, Niz. It could go on for a while. Anti-Mage could stall this out for a very long period of time.
Yikes.
You're like, God damn it. 6.82. What happened to my 6-hour casts?
It's just nuts, dude. Why a couple minutes ago was 3 kills, each of them worth 2,000 gold. And now that fight.
And now look at the Anti-Mage's net worth.
It was a 200 gold difference for a 1-1 trade. Like, what? How does that make any sense?
Well, Anti-Mage is
And the
getting
reason the net
beefy.
worth is so close is because they just got fed a whole bunch from somehow winning team fight.
Well, the way the math works and the more heroes you have in the area. But, I mean, again, I'm definitely a fan of this comeback. And, you know, to be... I'm not trying to say Dardan is bad, and I'm not trying to say that, you know, this mechanic is absolutely perfect. But what I'm trying to say is Hot Hands was down. Hot Hands had less tools to work with, but they worked excellent with them. And they were able to get that fight, to get in this position where this game is actually a real possibility for them to come out of.
Yeah, and you know what? I said it again, like, if you're ahead, you shouldn't be losing team fights that drastically anyways. However, like, you don't, even when you lose the fight, you don't know how much gold you've just given to the other team. And that's the disgusting part, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you just gave 1,200 gold to every hero on the other team. 2 fights in a row. Like, that's crazy. And in-game, you don't know that. You don't know how much gold that is because you don't even know what your net worth lead is. So you have no way to even guess. You know, oh yeah, we lost a team fight. They got gold. But you don't know whether it was, oh yeah, we gave them 1,000 gold in total, or oh, we gave each hero 1,000 gold.
Right.
Maybe that's just something that we have to get used to, but like, I don't know, I always have a fairly good idea the net worth differential in game, but you don't know. Even like, okay, I know what the net worth differential is, but I don't know, was this hero in XP range, and he was in XP range, or in the gold acquisition range, so he got so much gold, and it's you don't know. You can't read that.
Right. Right, and I think
And
that's
that's not
where,
something you get by feel either. It's just...
No, and I think that's where the logic of, if you're ahead, you need... There is a bigger precedence on the team that is ahead to play better. Now, that's not to say that that precedence isn't also on the team that's behind because they need to get the great execution, but... Oh, Cheech, he should be okay. What I really want to just get out of that is that the team that's ahead, technically, that's at the advantage, should win the game most of the time. Now, of course, different heroes mean different points in time that can happen.
Look at last game. Look at the net worth graph. That net worth graph did not at all correspond with how...
EGA,
like, what
middle
team
lane,
was
in
winning
trouble.
right?
No, it's
Right?
Cheech. Big trouble. No, there he's going to
Gonna
pop the
turn
BKB, yeah. And now it looks like Static is going to fall. He doesn't even get any of his abilities off. EGA in trouble, getting chased up. It looks like they're just going to chase them out and look for Roshan, as of course he is up. Ryanu picking up that bounty rune. As he is going to pop the Flutter, getting that 20% movement speed to help get
It's
away.
been drawn out for him to push bottom. Are they going to go Roche? Where are they going?
No, meanwhile, middle lane, Corey and Cheech going man-to-man. But you know what? The last thing you want to do is go man-to-man with an anti-mage. And he's just going to actually TP into the top lane and start pushing it out. It looks like Melisam... I don't know what the hell's going on, but Melisam somehow on the other side of the map gets caught out. His entire team went back to the base, and
They had to TP back to respond to Ryanu pushing a
they're going to go
Medusa.
for Cheech. I think they might be able to get him here, as they are going to pop that ultimate from the Medusa. He does blink out in time, though, and now Panda's popping the Blade Mail. Is going to get slowed up. There's the Meteor dealing a ton of damage to him. Blade Mail ends. The Sun comes out. The Ravage, huge, hitting on 3 heroes. And now there's the Viper Strike canceling that Lincoln's. And now, actually, Ryan is down. After that, Cheech able to get the Great Mana Void. They're going to have to TP out. Is it just too much girth and hot hands? I think they're going to do it, Niz. I'm jumping into the boat. I think they've got this game in the bag. If
they have it now.
Like, Cheech is huge.
Look at the net worth graph. Should Hot Hands be getting more gold per kill now? Like, no. That's my problem with it. Like, right now they're getting more gold for winning a team fight when they are clearly at favor to win a team fight at this point. And
yeah, the mechanic doesn't work
really
too
make
well
sense.
for Protect 1 strats, but that's neither here nor there, because this game is going to be decided by that regardless, as Cheech and team are here.
I sound bitter with my argument, and I'm not.
You sound like a bitter old man. Is his drop going on to Static.
Silly.
Gonna be able to kill him as he falls. 51 seconds on the sideline. 4 more seconds for Medusa. Cheech still standing strong. Bots up on Invoker and on Anti-Mage, so as soon as they get this Rax, they can get out hook onto Anti-Mage. I wouldn't be surprised to see the blink out from Anti-Mage any second. Screw that. I'm taking your Rax. And he is. He's going to also get the Clockwork. And he's going to be able to blink away pretty much unscathed. Does drop down to 700 HP, but that doesn't matter if you're able to TP away. And now the Rax advantage is equalized a little bit. Of course, they're going to sacrifice Pandas, but you know what? It's a support. Who cares? They got a Rax. They're now even in some. Well, I mean, I guess they didn't get the ranged, but that helps so much. So much. 2 racks down versus 1 racks down is a big difference. We've had casts where we've talked about this in depth. But there's like an interesting threshold in Dota where you're 2 racks behind and the game is, for some reason, exponentially harder than 1 racks down, and 3 racks down is obviously infinitely harder than 2 racks. It's kind of weird how Dota and racks work like that, but it's kind of how it goes.
So how do you win? How do you win from this point?
You let the casters fall asleep at the desks, the other team fall asleep at the desks, and the last team awake wins the game.
You have...
This is like, I don't like that idea. I quit.
You have the last set of racks exposed. The tier 3 is gone. You have the only 1 tier 4 protecting a throne. However, Glyph is still up. How do you bait out a Glyph?
Can you outrant an anti-mage?
You can't fight him.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Well, that works.
That helps, but I mean they're gonna lose a topsy 2 here. The only one here to
What's
defend
that?
is
Hold on,
EGA.
hold.
Do you think EGA cares? Or sorry, yeah. Do you think Anti-Mage cares about EGA? I don't even think he cares about this TP. Yeah, it's Clockwork. Cold Snap's on him, but he still has BKB. He still has Manta. He's gonna pop the Manta and the BKB at the same time, and he's just gonna go ham on these heroes. BKB popped by the Clockwork, but Anti-Mage is going on to Corey, and he's going to be able to get him, and now he's going to be able to blink out as well. Beyond Godlike, 13-3-3. Cheech doing work.
Got him.
He does get Tornado thrown up in the air. Will he be able to blink out? No. And the Mystic Flare on the mark, dealing a ton of damage to him. He actually will get cleaned up. And that's one good way to throw away your advantage. As we do see, oh, it's not actually updating. I want the show fight recap with Anti-Mage Dad. 4,000 experience change, 1,300 gold just for 1 kill. But they buy back for one reason.
Gold
And-
change. It's 2,000.
Sorry, yeah, it was 2,000. But what I was going to say, they buy back on Anti-Mage for one reason and one reason only: to give him the Aegis. And I think that's enough to take another set of racks, even though he doesn't have buyback. Like, how do you kill 2 Anti-Mages right now? It took your entire team to kill 1, and you still lost people.
He was beyond godlike. Okay? He was beyond godlike in a point in the game where his team is easily rolling over the other team in team fights. But the net worth was basically even at that point in the game. So killing him was basically 2,000 gold. That's how much that kill was worth. However, you look 10-15 minutes ago, and Hot Hands was getting 2,000 gold for killing a support. It's crazy.
Well, don't get picked off and don't get out tactically played, Niz. That's what I have to say to that. It's definitely my perspective on this patch, but yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. It is a big shift, but you know, now, you know, where we're saying, you know, Dardant had a lot, lost a lot, it's getting to the point where Hot Hands is starting to have a lot, which means they could lose a lot. And they could lose the game. The game is in their hands. It's now 5 Dardant that don't really have much in their hands. They're kind of, you know, they've lost the advantage. They've lost their ability to dictate the outcome of this game. And so, really, it's on Hot Hands and how they play it. And if they can clean this out and actually take this to the win, to the board at the end of the day. Put that to a record, Niz. I'm a regular
This
old
is
rapper.
ridiculous. This game's not going to end for a while.
I mean, like I said, at 29 minutes was it? I literally said, either this game is going to end now, Niz, or we're going to be sitting here for 60 minutes.
This is crazy.
Here we are, 60 minutes later. 40, 50, sorry, 30. Well, technically 20 minutes later, but 50 minutes total. Item pickups are starting to get there. Of course, Refresher Ravage now available.
Since Cheech has already used his buyback, he's not going to do anything really aggressive with his Aegis. He's just going to farm. Oh boy. He's almost 6k net worth ahead of the Deuce now.
Well, what's your plan is if you're the Radiant side? Let's put you on their in their shoes. What do? Do you throw it all into a push? Do you wait it out?
Can't. There's a glyph. You got to bait the glyph somehow.
Okay. How do you bait the glyph?
I have no idea how you bait
Wow.
the glyph without losing your entire team. And that it's not really a bait, it's a suicide push into a glyph.
So are you willing to say that this is 100% up to Hot Hands? How the outcome of this game come? You know.
I don't even it's up to. I don't even think it's fair to say it's up to Hot Hands. It's up to Cheech not to do something ridiculously stupid.
Well, fair enough. It's on your shoulders. You got the set. Do you have the skills?
This is what happens when it goes late and you're a carry. You are everything when you're playing this kind of carry.
But he's been playing it well so far, and actually, you know
Oh
what?
yeah.
They've spotted out EGA, and EGA doesn't know it. They're going to get the stun. They're going to get the Viper Strike. EGA down. He does that buyback, of course, as you can see the little ring around his numbers or the golden outline, but that's still bad. That is still bad. And now they can just push down middle as 5 if they want to and potentially go for the GG. I think they should opt for bottom because they're dealing with mega creeps in that lane and Ryan would pushing it out. And top lane won't really get pushed in because of the fact that there's, you know, 2 racks standing there. But we'll see what they decide to do. We will see.
I don't understand this game anymore. I don't. It doesn't make sense to me.
So you like Solitaire, Niz? Just kidding. God, it's 11 o'clock over here already. 1 o'clock on
I
the
just
East
start
Coast.
commentating Solitaire.
And we have a 3
Minesweeper,
of
man.
diamonds. As he has been able to reveal the 4, 5, and 6, and it's a mine.
What did he buy? He bought a heart? Really?
Who? The
Cheech.
Anti-Mage? For after the Aegis, as it just expired. Good timing. He still has buyback too and reliable. No, he does
He
not.
doesn't.
Uh-oh.
That was a mistake.
That was a big mistake. Static though. Static will help get him reliable gold. Thanks, man. Now I have buyback. No, actually, well,
He doesn't.
What's the calculate? Oh, never mind. In the middle of the map, we're gonna see a big engagement. He's actually Burgundy Burr already popped that pipe. I don't think he's used Ravage yet. He used it once. He hasn't used the second one. He doesn't have the mana. Does have the arc boots. Does pop him. Not enough though. Wand charges do get him over the threshold. He's gonna be able to blink forward and get the Ravage, but it misses on everyone because of Ryan Noob's BKB, and he's just gonna turn and fight. And I don't know if they can win this fight right now. This is looking bad. Cheech is on the other side of the map. Or no, he's actually right there in the middle of the fight. taking quite a bit of damage. It's actually the Viper that's on the other side of the map. He hasn't bought back yet. He just wasn't there. And uh-oh. If you're a fan of Hot Hands, this game is starting to look... Well, let's be honest. 6.82 is going to be the era of heart attacks. Because people are going to be so afraid to bet because every game is decided in the 45-plus minute mark. Which, whether or not you like that part of Dota, personally I do. But it's decided by not basically one team fight. And how much one team gets off of a one team fight victory. If you're willing to agree with that characterization of it.
It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. They got 2,300 gold for killing 2 heroes there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And they lose one, and they lose 2,000 gold.
Well, Riot Noob in trouble. Gonna get Viper striked up, taking quite a bit of right clicks. 8 seconds until his BKB, and Cheech has access to the Mana Void, and there we go. Drop gets the kill. Tyken is gonna hook in, but hook in to his death most likely as Cheech does get the blink forward before the silence. He's chasing down the Skywrath Mage. He's gonna get him, and that's 2. Make it 3 as he's chasing it, or try to make it 3 as he's gonna chase it down. Cheech does get Sunstrike, taking some damage. He's gonna be able to blink off to the right side. Hook from Tyken into the middle lane is gonna get him out of any of the action, but Cheech is on the pursuit trying to go for Corey, but he doesn't have any bash. He doesn't have any stun. So Corey is able to get away, but again, Hot Hands defends the base, defends the racks. The game goes on.
Well, they got 70 damage to the range racks.
Big numbers, man, big numbers.
You don't, like, the problem is that you can't win from this point on. But how do you GG out at this point in the game? Like, you've destroyed 4 racks, you've got the last set of racks exposed. They only have 1 tier 4 protecting the throne, and it's at half HP.
Radiant's top tower is
Like, how do you GG out at that point?
Not entirely sure, and they're gonna lose top T2 right now. Radiant side, that is. Cheech getting more gold on his side. Of course, he still has buyback. He didn't die that fight. He didn't die most recently. He's been doing a very good job of staying alive, and Cheech and squad are looking to take a second set of racks as he's going to start wailing away on this bottom racks. The hook in forward from Tyken. But that's kind of just to stall the inevitable. The multicast is actually on illusion, which means this tower is going to be taking a lot more damage than if he would have stunned the hero. But doesn't matter. Tower falls. Going to blink away. They might try to pursue this, but I don't know. Maybe they do. They do. Burger gets hooked on by Clockwork. Now, running away is tied, but the Ravage as they all group up, and I think this is going to be it. Wand Charges does get it, though. And yeah, it does miss Ryu Noob, but they're going to lose Corey, as there's the unrefined Fire Blast, the second Fire Blast. But look at Anti-Mage, man. He's just not dying. He's just not dying. Maybe now he will. He's going to try to blink out that Battery Assault, preventing it a lot, but Drop, he's doing his own thing. He's going to be able to clean up the Medusa, as Drop does get a triple kill before he falls. Meanwhile, Cheech just going to run to the base. Looks like he's just trying to chase down Corey. He's going to be able to get it. And of course, he has that heart running, which is just helping heal him up this entire time. And he's already back up to 100 or 1300 HP, trying to get out this bottom lane. As it looks like he'll be able to. Hook in from Tyken. Maybe going to try to change that, but no. Blink. Nothing to hold him in the cogs. And Roche is actually going to be up really soon. I don't think he's going to be anywhere near it. I don't know. Oh no, he TP'd. Wow, what meta. Goes to the bottom lane, pulls everyone down there, and then... Oh, and he's using the illusion to bait it out, just like you said, controlling it like a hero. So they think that illusion's him, so he's going to be able to continue pushing out this lane, and... Cheech is a one-man show right now.
Well, when you're running around with 3,600 net worth, basically.
You might as well be, right?
36,000, sorry.
Cleans up the range racks, and I think this is just a slow but sure end to the game as Cheech is just chipping away at them, chopping them down bit by bit. Tyken wants to stop it. He's trying. He wants to. Manta style pop to help him get out of that cogs. The chase is there. The battery assault slowing up Cheech, but the fog allowing him to get away from the battery assault. Of course, the top lane is still getting pushed in by a double siege wave, and Cheech just goes back to the jungle. He has a heart, remember. So his regen is off the charts as far as HP goes, and he'll be back into the fight in just a moment. What a game, Niz. What a game.
Unreal.
I really thought Hot Hands was completely out of this. 100%.
You know, I don't understand Dota anymore.
I mean,
That's actually been the trend of pretty much everyone that I'm talking to.
I mean,
But
see, I
it
feel
doesn't
the
make
opposite.
sense.
I feel like this game, like, yeah, I get that some of the values are a little skewed, and, like, I agree with you, but I definitely think that Hot Hands deserves this win because they out-executed and out-thought the Radiant side at the critical juncture of the game, if that makes sense.
I think Dardant or Blocked Up, whatever you want to call them, I just think they didn't respect 6.82 and basically threw away. They got a little overzealous in the base, and that little mistake cost them 6,000 gold.
I think it was the smoke up, honestly.
And then that fight, I think that fight was already starting to come Hot Hands' way, and then the fact that they won that was well played by Hot Hands in that fight. I agree, and that was the other 6K differential. So I don't know. I think if that first mistake doesn't happen, then the game's just over. I'd have to go back and look at, what was actually acquired item wise and everything after that. But
Well, Cheech is still huge, and we'll see if this ends the game. MKB, bottom tower falling as it's the last T3 on the map. It will fall, and all T3s on the map are gone. As this Rax is getting low, Melee down to 900 HP. They're trying to focus up Cheech, but again, he has that shield and the Ravage. Hits on 3 in the back. Second one hits on another 3. Make it 4 as Tyken also gets stunned up as Ryan Noob is going to pop that Stone Gaze. Try to stall up the fight, but the good swap from Melisande pulling drop out of it is going to allow him and Cheech to focus up on Medusa. Mana Void absolutely wrecking his life, and it looks like Hot Hands has done it off the back of a lost mid game, off the back of a lost early game, and off the back of a lost early late game. They come back in the final 30 minutes of this game and are able to secure the victory. They're just going through the hoops now. What a game this as Tyken hooks in, trying to hold his team at the last moment for the last push so they can turn this around and make it to the finals. But unfortunately, Cheech is intent on making sure that their finals ticket is thoroughly void. And it looks like it's going to be GG from Tyken, guarantees that. And that does it for us in the semifinals, as we will see Hot Hands go on to play something about China. No Soap China. Niz, do you have any final thoughts about this game before we go on to the next one?
no, let's just hop into the finals.
Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and cut it to the waiting screen as well as the music, guys. Of course, if you enjoyed this cast, please follow us below. Twitch.tv/DotaRaptors. If you want to watch the VODs on your own time, please check out youtube.com/DotaRaptors, as that's where all the VODs are. And if you enjoy Niz and his insight into Dota, check him out at Twitter at Nizcast. And if you guys want to go up and beyond that, please message us, comments, anything, to let us know how we're doing, what you like, what you don't like. But we will see you guys in the finals of this Thursday Semi-Pro Cup Series action.